The world as we knew it no longer exists. There is no functioning government. There are no police and there are no laws. There are only those few people that are trying to survive the end of our modern age. The zombie apocalypse has started and is in full swing. You and the other survivors are running low on food, water, and supplies. Everyone is exhausted and tired of running, so now's the time to start thinking about how to rebuild our society. Survivors just can't keep wandering from town to town hoping to find supplies. They need a town or safe haven of their own. If we look at the Walking Dead TV shows, two communities spring to mind, Hilltop and Alexandria. Both communities were well thought out. Hilltop took the western fort approach, while Alexandria took a more modern, walled-off solar panel community approach. Both communities had their strengths and weaknesses, but both were able to last quite a while. Unfortunately, one didn't last. So let's see if we can do better. Welcome to our basic guide on rebuilding society after a catastrophic event like a zombie apocalypse, a devastating viral outbreak, natural disaster, or even a nuclear war. In this video, we'll offer practical advice on how to rebuild a new world from the ashes of the old. So here are the 7 basic steps to rebuilding a community after an apocalyptic event. Step 1. That is just simply to survive the apocalypse. The people who are going to survive will probably fall into one of 3 categories. Category 1. The skillful and prepared person. This person is stocked up on food and supplies well before the apocalypse happened. They took the time out of their day to learn the basic survival and handyman skills. These skills, such as water purification, first aid, and bushcraft skills, are just the tip of the iceberg. Category 2. The unprepared but out-of-the-box thinker and resourceful person. This person did not believe anything bad could happen to this extent. However, once the gravity of the situation became clear, this person put his or her mind to work, made a quick plan, and put that plan into action immediately. This person also makes routine adjustments along the way to account for changing circumstances and has learned how to quickly adapt. Category 3. The lucky person. This type of person never prepared, never planned anything, but just went with the flow. Seemingly always in the right place at the right time. It's really their lack of knowledge that saved them from time to time. Not having the knowledge of what options to choose from actually allowed this person, occasionally, to make choices others wouldn't, but end up working out. Step 2. Make a plan for the type of settlement you're going to build. What skills does your group have? Can you even build what you're planning to build? What supplies do you have? Can you salvage what you don't have in the area you're in if you can't get the supplies you need? Can you substitute other materials or other supplies? These questions all have to be taken into account before construction begins. Building a town from scratch can be a complex and time-consuming process that requires careful planning, organization, and, of course, execution. Here are some general steps that you can follow to build a town from scratch. Number 1. Define the purpose and vision of the town. Before you start building the town, you'll need to define the purpose and vision of the town. What's the town's main focus? Is it a residential town? A commercial town? For example, is this where you'll be mining for minerals and ores? Or a mixed-use town? Number 2. Develop a master plan. Once you have determined the town is viable, you'll need to develop a master plan that outlines the physical layout of the town. The plan should include the location of buildings, roads, farms, and other public places. You'll have to decide on what type of barrier or wall you're going to have to keep zombies out. The good news is that you will not have to worry about zoning laws and land use regulations. Number 3. Make sure that the majority of everyone is on board with the type of town and design layout. Take people's opinion into consideration and make them part of the process. This is when you should also plan for the town's defenses against zombies and humans alike. Number 4. Build infrastructure. Once everybody agrees on what is to be built and how to go about it, you can start building the town's infrastructure, including roads, water. Are you diverting water from a river using PVC piping? And sewage systems. Will you be using outhouses, camping toilets, or porta potties? Electrical. Will you be using a water wheel and alternator to generate electricity, or solar panels? Or maybe you'll be using both. And then there's communication networks. There's the telegraph, walkie-talkies, ham radio, etc. Number 5, construct buildings and public spaces. With the infrastructure in place, you can start constructing buildings and public spaces such as parks, schools, and places where goods can be constructed such as furniture, shops for forging metal items such as axes, saws, arrowheads, spearheads, etc. Maintain and improve the town. Once a town is established, you'll need to maintain and improve the town's infrastructure and public spaces to ensure the town remains a safe and happy place to live and work. With careful planning and execution, it can be a rewarding experience that results in a vibrant and thriving community. Step 2. Salvage what you need. Knowing what you'll need will make it easier to find the right supplies. You can only carry so much at a time, though. Get what you need first, get what you want second, then whatever room you have left, get what you think might be useful in the near future. Get in and get what you want, and then get out. Don't waste time. Always readjust your plan due to changing circumstances. When you get back with your supplies, rest up and head back at it until you have everything you need. Step 3. Reconstruct your calendar. If by chance your battery-operated watch is still working, this should be easy. Knowing the passing of time is important for farming. Knowing when to plant your crops is very important. Step 4. Restart a chemical industry. Advancing a civilization is more than stocking up in food and guns. It's about supplying products for our own basic needs. And some of the most basic, historically speaking, would be potash and soda for the use in making glass and soap. Other chemicals would be needed for medical. How do we make painkillers, antibiotics, etc.? Having those chemicals and knowing how to make these would be invaluable. Step 5. Wood-powered cars or electric cars. During World War II, wood-burning cars were in wide use due to the gasoline shortages caused by the war. Solar-powered electric cars can be made as well, making transportation of supplies much easier when gas is gone because no one is drilling for oil or gas anymore. Not yet, at least. Bicycles are another great option for transport, but you are very limited on how much you can carry. Step 6. Establish contact with other survivors. If there are no functioning radios because the radio stations are down, you can create your own transmitter receiver from salvaged parts. This was commonly done by prisoners of war in World War II. This will require knowledge of electronics or the ability to learn on the fly with a good set of electronics books. Step 7. Relearn everything else. After an apocalyptic event, the most important thing to do for long-term survival as a species and as a society is to acquire and preserve as much knowledge as you can and the ability to relearn how to use that knowledge. You'll have the ability to salvage from libraries, schools, and universities all the knowledge of mankind. Recreate the tools of yesterday for tomorrow so the next generation of survivors will have it a little easier. Whether or not mankind is knocked all the way back to the Stone Age depends on the knowledge we preserve and relearn. Now, this is not a complete step-by-step instruction video on how to rebuild a society. No mention was given to where this should be done. I would suggest no more than a few days' walk from a major city, near a river for fresh water and fish, and the area should have plenty of land available to be able to farm crops and raise animals and children. However, there are other places available as well that you might find more suitable. If this video got you thinking, then leave a like or a comment. It's appreciated, and I'll see you in the next video.